Hello, I'm going to walk you through setting up the core details in your account. This orientation is for both Pro and PM clients. Some features shared in this video are isolated to the PM version of Rentec Direct. It's easy to update your account subscription in your settings. When you signed up for your new account, you should have received a welcome letter that contains your username and password and a link to your new client welcome kit, which contains quick start resources for setting up your account. In your new client welcome kit, we summarize your core setup steps in order and provide quick tips with each step. On page 3, you'll find navigation pointers and support resources. When logging into your account, you'll arrive at your account summary. And when logging into your brand new account, the setup welcome screen is displayed with core setup steps, just like you found in your new client welcome kit. If you're signed up for Rentec PM, you'll have 6 setup steps. Pro accounts will have 4. Beyond the setup guide, the summary provides an overview of important account activity, updates made to your software, as well as news and tips related to the property management industry. Click the question mark to ask your client success team questions or to find answers independently. Click the bell icon to view important notification and reminders that you've set for yourself or to view any incoming notices related to your online payment tools. The Universal Search tool will help you locate information quickly. The filter narrows down summary details to a specific property. Choose Quick Access links to frequently used tools and notice the indicators of new activity. A full knowledge base of instructions and videos is linked into the footer of your software. There are drop-down options available for each section in your software. Notice how clicking on the hamburger icon opens and closes the navigation menu on the left. If you are working on a small device or you adjust the size of your browser window, notice that your account display automatically adjusts. Now that you have some basics on navigation, let's look into setting up your account. Your first setup step is to customize your settings in your Rentec Direct account. Some settings are important to manage before adding properties and tenants, and we recommend you click through each setting to become familiar with your options. Be sure to update your login and password and enable two-factor authentication for an extra layer of account security. If you forget this step, we remind you periodically as we take security seriously. If you plan to access your account through a virtual private network or from international locations, select those options. Your Rentec Direct billing details are managed in your settings. Change payment methods? Find your monthly billing day and view your payment history. Download a copy of your monthly invoice and drill into specific charges by clicking on the blue links. Your accounting default settings are important to manage right from the start. Indicate your payment policies, including grace period and late fees, before adding your tenants. Click on the question mark for details about each setting. You will find this icon throughout your software. Once your settings are saved, they apply to all future tenants. If a tenant has a separate payment policy or grace period, their settings can be adjusted individually when they are placed into their rental or through their profile page. Custom Fields allows you to store unique bits of information on tenants, properties, and owners. Custom fields can be created at any time. However, adding them before adding tenants, properties, and owners will save you time. In a moment, I'll share with you which default fields are available, so you'll have a better idea if you want to add custom fields. Once a field is created, they are searchable through your account filter, and they can be inserted into custom forms. The Manager feature is reserved for PM accounts. Managers are team members who are property managers, marketing managers, or maintenance managers. Managers can be linked into a tenant invoice, a maintenance request, and marketing correspondence. Because managers are assigned when adding properties, adding them beforehand through your settings is going to be a time saver for you. If your manager will access your Rentec Direct account, be sure to enable their user account by checking the box. Both Pro and PM accounts include unlimited users. When enabling a new user, create a username and password and select their access permissions. After adding the user, customize their permissions by clicking on the Permissions setting. There are many options to customize user access levels. We advise administrators to log in as a user to be sure the desired options or restrictions are set before you're granting access to your account. If you're unsure about the implications of a particular permission, reach out to your client success team. After adjusting your settings, your next setup step is to add your bank accounts. This step is important for accurate bookkeeping. Add in each bank account you use for property and tenant income and expense transactions. When adding a bank account, the only required field is the account name. Once your bank account is added, you'll find advanced options open up, such as the ability to activate your account for online payments, which is found in the bank account profile page, as well as the option to post multiple income and expense transactions at a time, and tools to connect your bank account to your Rentec Direct account for a live bank sync. You'll even find bank account reconciliation features in your bank account menu. The menu can be found by clicking on the menu icon or the 3 stacked dots. This same menu icon is found throughout your software for additional options. The menu can be found by right-clicking on the bank account name. If you click on a balance, a ledger of your transactions will open. Within each ledger, there are additional options, such as a filter, the ability to edit a transaction, and frequently used tools. By clicking on the calendar, you can change which transactions appear, and the date column will arrange which transactions you see first. If you've made an attachment to your transaction, those can be viewed by clicking on the paperclip. Click on the settings gear to enter delete mode or to download the ledger. While in the accounts page, notice the default bank account called undeposited funds. This account is useful for storing transactions you're preparing to deposit into your bank account. For more information on how to use the undeposited funds feature, check your knowledge base. If you're working in the PM version of Rentec Direct, your next setup step is to add property owners. The only required information when adding an owner is their name, either the individual or the entity. Some owner information is required before future tasks can be completed, so remember to come back to the owner profile page later. For example, when recording an owner disbursement, you must indicate how you want to pay them in the owner profile. Additionally, we recommend enabling the owner portal once you've completed all your core setup steps, rather than enabling them at the time you're first toggling this owner profile. And remember, just like accounts, there is a menu of options for owners and a clickable balance that opens their ledger. Your next setup step is to add in your properties. After clicking Add a Property, complete all fields in the property profile page that apply. Blank fields could result in bookkeeping errors. If your property has more than one rental, check the box for a multi-unit property and indicate the number of individual rentals within your property. If your settings are different for each rental within a multi-unit property, define them in each unit profile page. List the default monthly rent and security deposit you want to charge your new renters. This setting is for listing a market rate for your rental, and it can be adjusted by individual tenant if you need to at their move-in point. The areas highlighted are isolated for Rentec PM accounts. Notice the options to link default bank accounts, managers, property owners, and custom fields, which is the reason why those details are created prior to adding properties. After adding your property, the property's marketing details can be managed. If your rental is occupied, you can wait to complete this step until it's needed. Your Rentec Direct account is equipped with advanced marketing tools, including a customizable Rentec Direct website, a rentals listing webpage with a customizable online rental application, and syndication feeds to the largest online listing sites. For more details about all of your marketing features, check your knowledge base. If you have a multi-unit building, after you add in the master property, it's time to set up the subunits. Click on the Subunit Not Defined link below the property name and complete the details for each individual rental within the multi-unit property. The name of your subunit will be tacked onto the address line. In this example, the unit address will read 123 Ashton Street, Unit A. If the subunit has a street address that is different from the master unit, change the address line. Otherwise, you can leave the address field blank. Notice the settings established on the main property setup page carry over to the subunits, and they can be adjusted if needed. Once your property is added, quickly find descriptions about your property in the property profile card. Quick links for posting income or expenses can be found in the property menu or in the property profile card. Once you've added in your properties, your final basic setup step is adding in your tenants. Placing a tenant into a property is done through Properties by clicking on the Place New Tenant link in the property profile card. This step is completed for each adult living in your rental. The tenant move-in page is only accessible when first placing your tenant. Completing these fields is important for accurate accounting. Indicate the tenant's monthly rent and the security deposit charge in the rental information section. Deposits are charges that are refundable to the tenant at move-out. Other non-refundable charges and tenant payments can be recorded after placing your tenant into their rental. If you have a roommate or housing assistance scenario in your rental where rent or deposit charges are divided between parties, list separate charge amounts for each responsible party. If your tenant roommates share rent and deposit charges, choose one primary tenant and assess those charges in their move-in page. Leave the box checked for prorate first month if your tenant's rent is due on the first of each month. If you uncheck this box, the rent charge date will mirror the same day of the month as the move-in day. Once you click Place Tenant, you'll be directed to the tenant profile page where you can add in details about your tenant, upload their photo, enable automated email preferences, activate the tenant's portal, and list non-contractual occupants. Once you click the Update Tenant button, the tenant profile page can be edited at any time through the tenant's menu. To view your tenant's portal, click the button that reads Log in as Tenant. The tenant portal provides a communication hub with your tenant. If you have a roommate scenario for your rental, after you place the first tenant, follow the Place New Tenant link in the property's profile card again to place the secondary roommate or responsible party. Roommates that are liable for rent jointly and severally would be grouped together. Roommates that split the responsibility for charges would be kept separate. Roommates placed separately will all be listed on the property profile card, and they'll also show up separately on the tenant page. Whereas roommates that are grouped together will result in both tenants being tied together on the tenant page and only the primary tenant being displayed on the property profile card. All tenant activity is managed in the tenant page, such as recording rent payments and security deposits, updating lease terms, or storing documents. The tenant menu icon is 3 stacked dots. Notice the shortcuts in the tenant profile card for quickly entering a tenant's payment or charge, toggling their online payments, sending an email or text message, or navigating to the property ledger. Here's an accounting tip. Recording tenant payments through the tenant page rather than through properties ensures payments flow through all connected ledgers correctly. The tenant's ledger can be accessed by clicking on the tenant balance. The ledger contains all tenant charges and payments. At the top of the ledger, you can view the amount of security deposit you've recorded. If you click on the amount, the tenant security deposit ledger opens where you can record payments or other security deposit transactions. Once you've managed your settings, bank accounts, property owners, managers, properties, and tenants, your setup welcome screen will show you've completed your core setup steps. After basic setup, you're ready to start using your account. Be sure to check out the knowledge base article on posting income and expenses and reference page 4 of your new client welcome kit. This page points you to resources for working with your clients, including tenant and property owner facing material. Your knowledge base is found in the bottom of your software and provides detailed written instructions and training videos for all your tasks. Review each section or type a specific topic in the search bar. Visit the Rentec Direct YouTube channel for training videos and webinar recordings. Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on any new videos as we're always adding new content. Visit the Rentec Direct blog for important software updates and relevant news articles. Watch for upcoming educational webinars and subscribe to be sure you're always in the know. Thank you for being part of the Rentec Direct team of professional landlords and property managers. Reach out to us if you need any help.